Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day today, and I just wanted to remind everybody, please, as we've been talking about, get out and vote and be informed about who you should vote for. Uh, as a, many Christians in our country do not vote. That's just really not good. So go vote. Take your friends with you. Take your relatives. Tell them the importance of voting. Tell them how important it is for us Christians to vote because there's a lot at stake in this election. So please get out and vote. Enough of that. I wanted to talk about a little bit about what we've been reading in our scriptures today. I love the story of the prodigal son. And the two stories before the prodigal son kind of lead up to the prodigal son story, and it's about the lost sheep, and it talks about a man who had 100 sheep, and he has one that went astray, and he left the 99 to go get the one sheep. He left the other 99 to go get this one little lonely sheep because he loved that little sheep. And then it talks about a woman who lost a coin, and she searched the whole house. Everything else was put on hold. She searched the whole house till she found that one coin. And then we come up to the prodigal son, which is kind of an explains or another example of those two. It kind of explains it even more about how God's grace and love for individuals and for people. He talks about the man who had two sons, and one of the sons wanted all his inheritance. He said, "Father, give me what's mine. I'm getting out of here. I'm done with this place," which was an insult to the father because the father wasn't dead yet, but he was demanding his inheritance. But the father gives it to him, and the son goes off and lives riotously. He lives with doing all kind of sinful things. He gets in such bad shape that he's not got any money anymore. He spent all his money. He's even got a job feeding pigs. And he gets so bad off that he even eats some of the food that he's feeding the pigs because he's so bad off. And for a Jewish boy, which this parable was about, that's a pretty bad situation when you're eating with the pigs because you don't eat pork if you're Jewish. So eating with the pigs was pretty bad. But he got to thinking, he said, you know what? He said, at my father's house, at least I had food on the table. At least I had some of the bare necessities of life that I don't have here now. So I think I'll just go back to my father. He rehearsed all this. I think I'll just go back to my father and say, look, Father, I don't deserve to be your son. I'm a shameful worm of a man. I don't deserve it. But Lord, but Father, just if you'll just hire me back as one of your servants, then I would be so pleased. And he rehearsed all this. So he gets on his way, and he's probably rehearsing this as he's walking. And his father looks out, steps out on the porch. They had a front porch then. And he looks out across the way, and he sees his son coming. He recognizes his son from way off, and he says, "Wow, that looks like my son." He said, and you know, he didn't say, "Here comes that scoundrel son of mine who's I gave all my money to." He's probably wasted everything that I gave him. He's probably spent everything. He's gotten a bad spot now. And here he comes back to me, wanting me to give him more money or wanting me to feel sorry for him. No, that's not what the father did at all. It said the father saw him, and when he recognized him, he said he started running toward him. And I think that's the only spot in the Bible where it was recorded that God ran, or this parable is about, depicts God as the father running to his son. And he ran, and he grabbed his son, and he hugged him, and he kissed him. And he was so thankful when the one lost son, he had two sons, one of them was lost, but he was so thankful when the one son came home. The moral of this story is, folks, it doesn't matter how far off you've gotten or how far off you think you are from God. He loves you, and he's waiting for you to come home. He's a loving God. He's not a condemning God. Condemnation is coming one day if we refuse him in the end. And before we die, after we die, then the condemnation is for condemnation. But now we have grace. And so he's a gracious God. He loves you, and he wants to come running to you. So I hope that you know him. If you don't know him, know that he's waiting for you to come home. So y'all have a great Sunday or a great weekend, and I hope somewhere in Sunday you're in church, and I hope to see you Calvary folks there. We're having a fun day out at the Lazy U. So see you then. God bless.